It's like a warm apple pie. McDonald's or homemade? Definitely McDonald's.
Oh, drip? It's not what it looks like.
What's going on, friends? Logan Myers back here for Cinephellas.com. Tonight I'm going to be doing another throwback review back to the 90s. One of my favorite eras for movies, music, pop culture, and not so much the clothing. And I want to review a movie I actually saw in 1999, the 20th anniversary this year. I'm talking about the first American Pie. So this is definitely a nostalgic ride for me. I remember sneaking into the movie theater because I was underage, and this was a very, I guess, controversial movie when it came out. It was the talk of the town. Everybody was talking about this in media, about American Pie, and me and my friends snuck into it, and it definitely changed my life and really made me appreciate raunchy comedy. And American Pie really is like the Porky's of the 90s. You know, it's sexually infused, horny teenagers, and their main initiative or goal in the movie is to get laid by prom. So they create this pact. They have 3 weeks. They're doing everything they can to get laid. So there's 4 different characters. We have Jason Biggs playing Jim. He's the main focal point or character in this. We have Klein, Chris, playing Oz or Oz Striker. And we have Thomas Ian Nicholas playing Kevin. If you guys are big fans of early 90s movies and baseball movies, he was in Rookie of the Year for the Cubs. So it was cool seeing him in these movies. And last we have Eddie K. Thomas playing Finch. Finch, the millfucker, was really great in this. So that's the 4 main characters, this group of friends. They're high schoolers. And American Pie really does hold up 20 years later. It's a coming of age, it's a nostalgic ride. It really depicts the late 90s for a kid that grew up in that era. And remembering the fashion and pop culture, it really depicts, 1999. And that's why I love this movie so much, rewatching this 20 years later. And, all these memories come back to me being a young kid and sneaking into this movie and remembering how mind-blowing it was, and then 20 years later, it's just hilarious. There's so many great one-liners. So this movie, there's a lot of great classic scenes. Obviously, Jason Biggs or Jim, he's trying everything in his power to get laid, online dating, things like that. Sets up a character, Shannon Elizabeth, and playing Nadia, the foreign exchange student. She comes over and he sets up the webcam. It was very dated. He had like the really 90s webcam on his computer. It was like the old school Mac, probably on 56K dial-up modem. Mom, get off the phone. I need to use the internet. A lot of dated technology, but it's hilarious seeing how Jim broadcasts accidentally to everybody in his high school. So Jason Biggs is like doing a dance. But this movie, there's too many scenes to name, but the classic MILF that, this is created in American Pie. And John Cho, this is before his career really took off. He was just a young extra in the movie. He just said the part about MILF, and, if you grew up in that era, you know what that means. Or even now, you probably know what it means, but it was all created in American Pie. So this movie was definitely very revolutionary for its time and really set up, other films of the genre to follow. And one of my favorite characters in the movie that needs no introduction, Seann William Scott playing Stifler. Stifler!
What's up, dude? You coming to party tonight, Ozzy, you fuckface? Sherman! Hey! What the fuck are you doing here? I'm gonna find myself a little hottie. Suck me, beautiful!
He's just like over the top, just alcoholic. He has money, he's an asshole, and he's always like typecast in the same role, but he really created Stifler, and it's one of the best parts of the American Pie films because it's so over the top and ridiculous. The things that he comes across, the things he says and does, amazingly stupid, but you just can't help but laugh. And Seann William Scott, this is the role that made his career. The rest of the supporting cast is great in this. We have a young Tara Reid before she turned into a plastic bag, and Eugene Levy plays Jim's dad. And, that was another nostalgic ride for my dad and myself, being that age, talking. It reminded me of Jim and his dad. Eugene Levy, comes in with, porno mags and condoms and things like that. He's, talking to Jim about masturbation. It just reminded me a lot of being that age and talking to my dad.
Oh, Jim. Dad?
Hi, I was just looking at the old family portrait out here. Well, that was a fun day, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jim, I want to talk about masturbation.
Eugene Levy is just a great comedian. I thought he was perfect in all the American Pie movies, playing Jim's dad. He was just like one of the best comic reliefs. Another 90s actress, Mena Suvari, was in this. She's playing like Oz's girlfriend. She's a choir girl. Her and Oz like meet up in choir class because he's trying to play the good role to get a choir chick to get laid. And she was really great. She was in a lot of the films too. And her friend Jessica played Natasha Lyonne, which was also another actress that's still doing her thing. She's in Orange is the New Black, as well as Jason Biggs. So she's still around doing her thing, and she was great as Jessica. So American Pie is a great flick, came out in 1999, 20 years later. Revisiting this, I laughed the entire time. The cast of the movie is really great. They all have really great chemistry. They're up-and-comers back then, they're young, but they really hit it off, and I think for all these actors, it was probably their best performances. They've been in other movies, TV shows, but I think they really brought their A game in the first American Pie movie. And it's a film that I'll probably keep revisiting over the years just to have that nostalgic ride and remember this great comedic and controversial movie that came out in 1999 that upset a lot of people. And American Pie is a movie that couldn't be made now in 2019 because everybody's too sensitive and it's a bit too raunchy and everybody would take it the wrong way, so I'm glad they put it out back then. So I'm going to give the first American Pie that came out in 1999 a 4 out of 5 apple pie hair pieces. What did you guys think of the first American Pie movie? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite movie in the franchise? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myers signing out. My good mate here, Jason Biggs. Somebody better hide the apple pie over there. Until the next video review, cheers!